All right. I am going to start at 3. Let people pop on as they come. Very excited for this. Thank you guys for coming on. This will be about an hour. If you guys have questions, feel free. Hey, Janice, feel free to ask. You can use the chat. I'll keep an eye on that. And I'm going to go through this. I believe you'll get a webinar replay, and then there's some downloads at the end, some resources that I'll give you guys. So I'll get our PowerPoint started here and get rolling. All right. All right. This is our webinar on how to make 100,000 as a real estate agent. Thank you guys so much for coming, taking the time today to spend with me. Appreciate all of you. I want to pour into you as much as I can today. So again, I will try to keep an eye on the chat so that if you guys have any questions, otherwise I can definitely answer some at the end. Basically, real quick, before I jump into everything, I want to share a little bit about who am I and how might I be able to guide you through this. So I'm Claire Gogan. I run the Gogan Real Estate team here in Naples, Florida. We have about 20 agents right now. I was a solo agent for a long time and a top producer at a local brokerage here. Definitely, made significantly more than 100,000 a year. And so I've walked the walk. I've done the path. Did it as a solo agent, was grinding. Really don't recommend that for myself. You end up working, 100 hours a week. I mean, you're just working nonstop. You're chasing the next deal constantly. So obviously I run a team. Teams can really help you grow while still giving you the ability to have a life and work, full-time hustle, but still, again, have a good balance in your life. So I'm going to go through this though. I'm going to share with you what I share with my team, how they are successful. And yeah, that's kind of my background. I started the team in 2020. I was grinding, COVID hit, things went to a screeching halt. I knew I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do this differently. And so I started exploring teams, got a coach, and helped me grow the team that we have today. And now my passion is really helping other realtors kind of not go down that path that I went on and help you know what to do, how to get there, and how to develop a sustainable business. So here we go. All right. The bottom line is anyone can make over 100,000 or more in real estate, but not everybody will because it does take work. Mindset and environment are going to be your biggest factors. Okay. We're going to talk a lot about mindset today. Your average agent versus an agent that's making over 100,000 or more. Bottom line, as an agent, every day that you wake up without an appointment, you are technically unemployed, right? Our business is based on us getting in front of buyers and sellers every single day. That is what we should be hunting for every single day. It's very simple, right? We are only making transactions if we are in front of buyers and sellers on appointments. So why do agents not make that money, right? Number one, they don't have leads. They don't know who to call. A lot of times they're just being told to work their sphere or whatever, and they're not doing anything to be proactive about finding people to do business with. No coaching. So there's no guidance there, right? You don't have leads and now you don't have any coaching. A lot of agents start brand new at a brokerage. They have some training. I see this a lot. A lot of these agents end up on our team. They've been at a brokerage for 6 months to a year, some even more, and they don't really know anything. They're kind of just blindly trying to make sales. They get them here and there from a sphere deal, somebody they know, a friend or a family, and they get lucky. But there's no one coaching them or providing training to help them grow their business and know how to get business. CRM. No follow-up cadence. When I started in real estate, I had a whiteboard in my office. I had deals that my clients that were going to buy in 3 months and ones that would transact in 6, wrote them up there. That was all I had. The rest of my database, I kept in MLS. And anytime I'd set somebody up on a search, that's basically where I had their contact information. That is probably how most realtors operate. If you don't have a CRM where you are entering all your customers, and then a CRM cadence where you are following up with your customers based on when they are going to buy, you have no way to build a pipeline so that you can build consistency. So super important there. And then nothing driving them, no mission or core values. Real estate is not an easy business. It's a sales business. You have to be self-motivated. You have to be self-disciplined. If you don't have a why, if you don't need to make money, if you don't have a family depending on you or bills depending on you, something that's going to push you beyond the motivation of, I want a fancy car, right? That's a pleasure want. That's not as strong as somebody running out of money and not being able to pay their bills. You've got to have something that pushes you to do the work every single day. And then last, they're busy, but they're not productive. I see this all the time. Agents super busy, running around. I have to do this. I'm so busy. It's one of the first things I work on with agents that come on my team. Busy means nothing if you're not productive. Busy people usually aren't very productive. Okay. They're not being good with their time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. So super important that you're being productive and not busy. All these things can easily get in the way of you not making the career number that you want to make. I put 100,000. You guys can easily make more in this business if you follow this blueprint. So the market has changed. Inflation has gone up. Rates have gone up. We are in a bit of a recession. I started in this business in about 2012, have been through many market changes. I was not in the market during the 2007, 2008 era, but I have been from about 2012 up until now. So I have seen, a very balanced market. I've seen the COVID and I've seen what's going on now. But you have to be prepared for it and you have to do things differently in the different markets. So a couple things to kick us off is setting proper goals. Most people are trying to, maybe make 100,000, but they don't have that identified. They're just trying to sell their next house, right? Daily commitments, something, if as a realtor, what are you doing every single day that makes you understand that day you fulfilled your commitments, right? What is it? Do you have a number? Do you have an appointment number? Do you have a call number? Do you have a conversation number? How do you know that you did what you were supposed to do that day at work? Real estate is a contact sport. It's all about I said this in the beginning, how many appointments, how many buyers and sellers you can get in front of. But at the end of the day, how many contacts you have. That's why your database is so important. How many people do you have in your database? So a simplified playbook to follow with extreme clarity of daily tasks. Too many agents are overwhelmed. They're on social media watching these people that tell them that they can get all these deals done just by posting on social media, right? And then they're trying to do YouTube, and then they're trying to, do all these things usually to avoid prospecting, but they're trying to do too many things. You have to keep it very, very simple so that every day you could do something and know that you checked it off and got it done. So I encourage you not to do that and work with 100 different systems. The bottom line is there's many ways to do this industry correctly. There's many paths, but when you start grabbing a little bit from this, a little bit from that, a little bit from this, and you're just grabbing all the little things that you like, then you're not going to have a sustainable business because you need consistency. And then getting the right rooms goes along with coaching. Think about, the brokerage you're with or where you are, the environment you are. Is everybody there trying to have a full-time career in real estate like you are, if you are? And is that the environment you're putting yourself in, right? A lot of times there's brokerage with very low monthly fees, something like that. And, that's great, or they offer you 100% commission. You have to think to yourself, And this is why way back in the day, I didn't end up at one. Well, I did end up at one and I left very soon after, is I realized, who hangs their license there? A lot of times it's people that kind of have their license, but aren't very active in real estate. And I decided that I wanted to be among bigger players. I wanted to be with people that were producing. And so I found an environment where I would be surrounded by that so I could be motivated by that. All right, 5 steps to productivity. So training. Training is really important, but you can have all the training in the world, and if you don't take action, it's worthless. So you have to take action. You have to welcome accountability, build your skills consistently, and constantly recommit to the process. So again, philosophy of real estate, you've got to take action, have a proven sales process, and have the skills to implement that. So how do you do this? How do you change and overcome? It starts with a choice, right? We talked in the beginning about that motivation. Do you have something that's driving you? Not making a choice is still a choice, right? Sitting in overwhelm, a confused mind does nothing. So important that you make that choice, that you're going to move forward, that you're going to take action, and you're going to implement a plan. Everything starts with mindset. I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. I've been to multiple Tony Robbins events, UPW, Business Mastery. 80% of salespeople's success is dictated by the mindset that they have, right? So, and it's incredible. You wouldn't think this. You think everybody wants the magic pill, right? What is it, the 1 or 2 things that I need to do to be successful in this industry? A 90% of it is just your mindset that you're going to do what you said you were going to do, that you're not going to fail. Or I shouldn't say that, because failing is how we learn, right? How we make mistakes is how we move forward. But that you're going to make your goals happen no matter what. So everybody's typically looking in their windshield, right? You're looking forward at the unknown, you're fearful, you don't want to take action. But really, we have to look back and look at our mistakes. If you're on this webinar and you are an experienced real estate agent, or you've been in the industry for a while, you're looking forward, trying to figure out what is it that I have to do. Hopefully, Claire's going to give me today the exact steps so that I can be extremely successful in this industry and make over 100 grand. I want you to also look in your review mirror. Look back and figure out, what have you done over the last couple of years, or what have you not done? Those things that you didn't do, how much money did you lose? Let me give you an example. I already mentioned earlier, when I started, I had a whiteboard. That was my CRM. I had 3 months and 6 months, and that's how, as people would come, I'd write them on my whiteboard in my office. If I look back, I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars by not having a CRM where I had my customers in my database, because there are so many people that I forgot about because they never made it onto that board. And there would be people that I would call and they would say they've already bought because I didn't follow up, right? So what is it that you have honestly not been doing over the last few years that has lost you significant money? And now we can move forward and make sure to implement those things. So again, most people are worried about the money they're going to lose in the next 2 years because of the economy, because they're, whatever, they don't have leads or they don't have this. But again, I'd be willing to bet that you've lost significant money even when the market was great, right? The market was good when I was in the industry. It wasn't COVID, but it wasn't a bad market. Things were selling, but I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because I didn't have a proper system to be able to work those leads as they come in and not forget about them. So we weren't, and especially those of you guys, some of you guys started in COVID, so that's all you know, or started right after COVID when things were crazy. That was, being in the business 12 years. I always tell my team that was fantasy land. That'll never come around again. That was an insane market. Everyone made a lot of money. It was great, but that is not how real estate really works. So now it's important to get back to the fundamentals. So again, what are people afraid of when they're trying to do these things, when they're trying to take action and implement some of the things that I'm going to give you today? People's approval, failure, and how do we really overcome those fears? So we have to stop negotiating with ourselves every time. Every time we do that, we're negotiating with the well-being of the people we love, or that why that you have, that reason that you have to do this every day. Choice is all that matters. So there's two major things that are lacking in our industry right now across the board with realtors that are not hitting the numbers they want to hit. Sales skills, right? Because as much as people love to say that we get in this industry because we love people and we love showing houses, we absolutely do on our team. We love all of that. We want to help people. But at the end of the day, this is a sales industry. The person with the better sales process is going to win. I've had agents go on appointments where, maybe that seller, maybe it was a listing appointment and they met with someone else that they really liked, but that person didn't know how to close. Then one of my agents goes in there and they know how to close. So they walk out of there with a listing agreement, right? So sales skills, or again, love helping people. That's what we're here for. But you have to have sales skills. And then consistency. Consistency is the one thing that is lacking significantly. People get excited, they hear about a strategy or a tactic, they do it for a week or two, and then they fall off. Or here's the biggest trap that realtors fall into: they get really, really busy, they get a couple contracts, and then they fall off, right? And now they're not doing anything that they were doing. The issue with real estate is you have to do an activity consistently over time. Otherwise, it will not produce results. All right. So what does an agent that's making over 100,000 a year do? Or what were the ones that made it kind of through that crazy market and that are doing it now? Educating themselves. They've made adjustments to their model. I've had to change my business. I am not doing today what I was doing 5, 10 years ago. I've had to adjust with the market. So again, if you're somebody that's been in the industry for a long time and you're still doing the same things that you were doing, you need to find ways to adjust your model to make sure that you're, especially now, right, with all these new changes in our business, double down on the fundamentals, right? Most realtors never learn the fundamentals. So it's hard to double down, but you have to, for a while, we were saying you had to double or triple the activities that you were doing to produce the same results that you were getting a year or two ago. So, and then act quickly and decisively. Recessions are not a bad thing. I don't know about you guys, but our team is up significantly this year. We grow every single year. We are not the market does not determine our success. So the last recession, we had a 17% increase in the number of millionaires and a 19% increase in their net wealth. So people make money when the markets are not as good. So if you change the way you look at things, so many realtors out there, back to mindset, the market isn't great, the prices are high, the interest rates are high, they're thinking about all these things. That's going to affect the way you see things. It's going to affect your activities. So life happens for you, not to you. You have to have a mentality. And I'm spending a lot of time on this. And I know that you guys might be thinking, okay, get to the point. I get it. But the mindset is so important. It's the number one thing that holds people back. I bring people in all the time on our team and show them exactly what to do. If they don't do it, it always comes back to mindset. It comes back to them getting in their own way because they make a choice to not do what they know they need to do. And will show up for reviews or coaching calls. And it's never like, well, like the activities are impossible. It's just, I know I should have done it and I didn't, right? So that's why it's so important. I can tell you every little thing. I can give you my exact playbook, but if you don't have the right mindset, you're not going to be successful. So don't have excuses. Don't be a victim. I look for that when we hire people on the team, right? Somebody comes and interviews. my brokerage this, my other team this, my, whatever. It's everybody else's fault. That's being a victim, right? That's not going to help you in this career. You have to look inwards, cut the excuses. You are responsible for your own actions. What you choose to wake up and do every single day is completely up to you. You have the power to be successful or not be successful. So don't be a victim, be a victor. In this market, you've got to have a rookie mentality. Okay. I don't care how long you've been in the business, you've got to feel like a brand new agent. Our entire industry just got turned upside down, for one. And even before that, things just changed. The process changed. Buyers are more savvy now. So you have to think like a rookie, right? The curse of experience is people that have been in the industry a long time and can just do things like they've always done. I've got agents on my team. They used to come and tell me, Claire, I'm super intimidated. I'm going up against, on this listing appointment with an agent that's been in the industry 30 years. And I'd say, great, you have so much over that agent. Think about this. That agent's been in the business that long. They're probably not keeping up on their education. They're bored with what they're doing because they've done it over and over again. So they're getting complacent, right? Where you now, with all this motivation, you have all this hunger, you're going in there with a fresh new look, a different way that this seller's probably never seen things done before. You're gonna stand out significantly. So if you are that agent with a lot of experience, make sure that you are having that rookie mindset and adjusting your ways, freshening up the way you do things, and continuing to learn. Unwillingness to change, don't complain about the economy. Again, I get so many people, well, the market's not good, so that's why I'm not making sales. It's an excuse, right? You can make sales happen every single day. All right, how to make 100,000 in any market. So, right, we're going to forget the victim mentality. Doesn't matter what the market's doing. We've got our mindset right. We can do this no matter what. We know our pain or our pleasure, right? We've got our not so much our why, but our wall, right? What is it that we are not going back to? Why are we not going back to that 9 to 5? Why do we have to do this every single day? Now we're going to get into the process. So do you have a process for each? If not, this is something that you should spend some time thinking about. Lead conversion. When a lead comes in, what is your process for getting them to a signed client? Right now, you should be doing a buyer consult, right? I'll share with you our process. Buyer consult immediately. If they're not here, it's happening on Zoom. We have an entire presentation, which is a bit of a sales presentation to help them understand who we are, why they're working with us, and why they should sign with us, right? So lead to sign client. Client conversion, right? You've got the signed client. Now, how are you getting them to a contract? What is your process for that? Are you just letting them guide the way and say, well, let me know when you want to see properties, right? Or are you taking charge of that conversation? Are you making sure you set an appointment after every appointment that you have with them? What does that process look like? Your under contract process, is it just you trying to handle everything? Do you have a TC? Do you have a team with a whole staff that's helping? What does that process look like? Past client plan. Once they close, what are you doing? The most simple thing you should be doing is just calling them once a quarter. That's it. It's not that complicated. If you do just that, you'll be doing more than 90% of the agents out there. Okay. So again, I know, Claire, how many times are you going to talk about mindset? So I'm going to go through, these are the last 5 here. Again, mindset, we're all new agents in this market. Let's have a mindset of a rookie, the passion of a rookie. And yeah. 2, role play, practice. Most people stop when they get it right. They role play a little bit, they learn a script. Yeah, I got it. Now I'm just going to wing it, right? Practice until you can't get it wrong anymore. You're never going to be able to handle every objection that comes your way unless you've practiced and practiced and practiced. If you aren't practicing on other agents or family members or friends, you're practicing on your clients. And at the end of the day, you only have so many clients to practice on. So you're only getting so many at bats to try your script or try to say what you need to say. And today, more than ever, we have more objections than we've ever had before, right? I don't want to sign your BBA, your buyer broker agreement. I don't want to do your buyer consult, right? I don't want to make an offer. I don't, whatever, right? I don't want to sign that listing agreement. I don't want to meet you face to face, all these things. You have to be able to handle those objections. So you should be role playing every single day to strengthen your skills and your objection handlers every single day if you can. Education. So many realtors kind of, get licensed, they get some education, and then they just go about doing business. They might take a class at the board here and there, but our industry is changing so fast. And if you are not staying on top of things, you're going to lose sales for that. People are going to sniff that out very quickly when they talk to you and understand, especially with the NAR settlements. Know what's going on, know how to talk about those. Number 4 is everybody's favorite, prospecting and follow-up. This is a non-negotiable, 2 hours of prospecting with intent every single day. You've got to be tracking your conversations and your appointments. If you're just making calls and you're not tracking anything, again, back to the beginning, what are your commitments? Your daily commitments should be around your prospecting and your conversations and appointments. And I'll give you a framework here at the end that you can use. But you have to be prospecting every single day. Now, I'm sure many of you guys are thinking, yeah, I'd love to, but I can't because I have all these appointments. Again, you're back to that busy agent and not productive. You have to be in control of your schedule. If you look up every very successful agent in the industry that makes over 100, 200, 300, they prospect or they prospected for a very long time and then got very successful, built their database for 10 years. Now they have a database they can work off of, and they might not prospect as much. Maybe then they have a team that now works their database potentially on some of these smaller teams. But prospecting is everybody's way of being successful. You have to talk to enough people every single day. And then 2 ways to end an appointment. If you don't have a sales process, this is the first thing you can implement to help you. You should never leave an appointment without writing a contract or setting a second appointment. That is it. There's no other option. There's no, hey, I'll call you later. I'll touch base. Yeah, we'll circle back. None of that. You're either writing a contract or getting a listing agreement signed, or you're setting another appointment. Always. This is what can slow you down. This is why some people can get leads and close a lot of deals, and some people don't, and they let it die and they lose touch to that person or whatever. So here's a framework that you can follow. If you did this every single day, you will make 100,000, no issue. 15 minutes every morning, educate yourself on the market. Go into Nabor MLS or whatever MLS you're in. Look at the stats. There's incredible tools in there that show you stats on inventory, new listings on the market, not the actual listings in MLS, but like what new listings. But you can also check the new listings in MLS. Look at what came on, look at what went pending, look at what closed. Look at where things are trending at least once a month. You have all those tools. Be knowledgeable so you can talk about that stuff. It's going to help you significantly on your phone calls too, on your prospecting, because you're going to have things to talk about. 15-minute huddle with your team or coach. This is really just to declare your commitments for that day, right? A lot in real estate, we're all self-employed. So who's holding us accountable, right? If you've got to know what you're doing every single day. I can guarantee you 90% of realtors out there are just going about their day. There's no set goal on what they need to get done that day. And that's a problem. Then you end up at the end of your day, did you do it or did you not? Or was it a successful day or not? 30 minutes of role play, I already talked about that. Sharpen those skills every single day. What's his name? I wrote this down earlier. 10,000 hours. You guys probably know who I'm talking about. John Maxwell. John Maxwell, 10,000 hours. It's one of his books. It's mastery. You have to do something for 10,000 hours before you're actually a master at it, right? So role play, role play, role play. You're never too good for role play. You can always get those skills up. There's a ton of groups on Facebook. We're with EXP. There's a ton of EXP groups, but if you're not with our brokerage, shoot me a message. There's plenty of groups I can get you in where they do regular role play sessions that you can be a part of. 1 hour prospecting and 1 hour follow-up. So there's your 2 hours. So 1 hour prospecting, that means with new, you're looking for new business. You want to talk to new people. I'm going to elaborate on that as well and talk conversations. And then 1 hour follow-up. That's in your database. Those are your leads that are A, B, C. We categorize our leads as A is somebody looking from 0 to 3 months. B is 3 to 6. And C is 6 months to a year. So you should have all those leads or those customers on a follow-up plan. Our A leads are every 7 days. Our B leads are every 15, and our C leads are every 30. Nobody goes more than 30 days without a follow-up. If it's somebody that's way out, then they're going to go to our nurture they're going to go to our nurture ISA, right? Our agents stay focused on people within a year. If you don't have that ability, then you're going to create some other type of category for them where you're touching base maybe every 6 months or so. But that's your follow-up. Fortune is in the follow-up. Most realtors do not do follow-up. They work leads that come in. They work the shiny object that's right in front of them. And that's all they do. So they're chasing that next paycheck. And then there's all this business that could be had due to follow-up that they're missing out on, right? So it's super important that you're doing follow-up. So this is about contacts. 5 days a week, 5 conversations a week, or 5 contacts a week to survive a day. I'm sorry, not a week. That would be way too little. 5 times 10. So if you're making 10 contacts a day, you're going to be winning, right? You're really going to kick off your business. If you want to dominate, let's say, okay, my real estate coach, Tina Call, she used to take 130 listings a year. Her top listing agent on her team is making over 400,000 on her team, right? With splits and everything. She makes 20 to 25 contacts a day. So if you want to make that kind of money, that's what you're looking at. You have to be talking to enough people a day. Now she calls a lot of expireds, and that's really where she gets most of her listings. But yeah, that's her benchmark. She does not finish her day until she has talked to at least 20 people every day, 5 days a week. So that's really, again, there's no magic pill out there, and this is very simple. We tend to overcomplicate things. We want to do 18 million different things. At the end of the day, if you're talking to enough people and you're hunting for appointments and you're having enough conversations, you're going to get business. All right, motivation to hit the ground running, get desperate, right? People have a negative connotation to desperate, but it just means like there's no other option. You're gonna do this, right? The last couple years, COVID, we've had the best years. Don't get complacent. Right now, things are not going to get better overnight. And frankly, they're not going to get that much better anytime soon. This is not a bad market. This is a stable, balanced market. I've looked at all the numbers. I've looked at numbers over the last 10 years. The inventory is fine. We're not super low. We're not super high. Buyers are buying. So if you're somebody that's sitting back going, I'm just going to wait until the market gets better and I'm going to maybe do better, I would caution you that this is a balanced market. If we swing to a buyer's market, it's going to get more difficult. Buyers are going to take longer to make decisions. They're going to have a lot more options. Shift a little bit more to a seller's market, then the buyers are going to have an even more difficult time buying right now. So enjoy this market, double down, and make some sales. Fight for every inch. Commitment smokes talent every time, right? Doesn't matter. Anyone can be successful as long as they commit to this. So your proven process, role play 30 minutes a day, proactively prospect 2 hours a day. That still leaves you 5.5 hours every single day for normal work, right? So you have to be really structured with your calendar when you're in real estate. Your mornings from like 8 to 10, 8 to 11, those are role play and prospecting time. Appointments have to happen after 11 o'clock. Do not schedule appointments in the morning. It will screw up your whole day. And I know, but what about the closing and the walkthrough and all these things? Trust me, at some point you'll get to the point where you learn how to, and this is something I teach on our team to our agents. You learn how to say no, right? And people most of the time are fine with it, right? There's always going to be the one-off here and there, but you have to be in control of your schedule. Track your conversations. I said I was going to talk a little bit more about this. On our team, a conversation is 2 minutes or more. If you didn't get, if you didn't get more than 2 minutes on a conversation, you have not gotten far enough to truly understand the motivation of that customer, right? You get somebody on the phone, they're going to say, no, I don't want to sell anymore, or no, I'm just looking, or whatever. You have to get past that. So we push on our team. We push our agents to get to that 2 minute mark. That's when you can get past people's wall, start to ask enough questions, build a little bit of rapport, and have the opportunity to really learn what the true motivation is, if there is any, right? If there's no motivation, we're not going to continue to try to work that. You can't create motivation for somebody to buy or sell, but you can uncover motivation. So 2 minutes or more. If you're using some kind of dialer, hopefully you have some CRM. We use Follow Up Boss. It's a great system. You get a dialer. You can track your time when you're calling. Try to push to that 2 minute mark. Follow Up Boss also tracks your conversations, so we can easily look in a database and see how many we've had. Track appointments, track your appointments and track what happened. What was the outcome? How many appointments did you set this week? What happened to those appointments, right? Did they no show? Did they meet you? Did you get something signed? That's how you're going to start to watch your conversion rate. Are you going on 10 listing appointments and only getting one signed? That's a problem. Are you setting 4 appointments with buyers and only 2 show up, right? Then you know you need to work on your appointment setting metrics. Specific and measurable is key with anything that you do. Try to avoid that. Well, I'm going to make about 100 calls this week. I'm going to have about 10 conversations this week, right? Specific and measurable so that you can hold yourself accountable. Here's some ways you can lead generate. I'm going to peek at you guys have any questions? I'm just running through this. Some of you guys may not have leads. If you want to try to get some without spending money, open houses, easy CMA, expired FSBOs, or you can door knock. You can door knock and like give people CMAs. That's a strategy out there. Expired and FSBOs are a good one. Those aren't free, but you've got systems you can sign up for, and then you can hit those every day. That's hard. I'm not going to lie to you. Our agents have been prospecting for a long time. They know how to handle objections, and we just started working expireds. Now they're crushing it. We've taken 26 listings this quarter, but you have to know what to do, or you're going to start it and you're going to immediately get discouraged because it's not easy. But you can be very successful at it. Facebook is a great one. When I started in real estate, I did a lot on Facebook. I posted a lot about what I was doing. I posted a lot about different areas. I was in a lot of different groups where I would offer value. That's a long-term play. You have to build a presence, but just come from contribution on Facebook, help people, and it'll come around. And then sphere of influence, always anybody that you know. Back to your database, though, you need to get all those people into your database and then start some kind of something, reach out to them, send handwritten notes. You have to work that sphere. At the end of the day, you need to be reaching out, trying to get people to do business with you rather than just sitting back and hoping the phone will ring, right? So ton of success stories on our team. All of our agents come in. Typically, they're writing contracts in 60 days. And again, they're just following the process. Some, the more successful ones are the ones doing it. All right. Some of the other ones are trying. They're trying to get there. They're building their good habits. They're building their consistency. And then they start to take off. So it's not hard. This is not complicated. It's very simple. Contacts, conversations, Do that 15 that I'm going to send you guys, and if you want to download this, it's just a Google Drive link. You'll get a sphere of influence script, so you can start calling your sphere of influence. I'm going to give you our open house process with a materials list. Open houses are an extremely powerful way to get business. You just have to know what to do and what to say, how to properly work them. So I'm giving you that process. And then the 15-minute work week that I went over with you. 15-minute huddle, market research, role play, huddle, 2 hours of prospecting every single day. That's it. That's all I got. Any questions? You guys can put them in the chat. If you do, I'll hang out here for a few minutes. Download these resources, take them. Thank you for showing up today. I appreciate you. Just starting to do these webinars. It's fun. I'm an open book. We do lunch and learns every Wednesday from 12 to 1. Please come to those. They're available for any agents in our market. I bring in all kinds of speakers. My team will sometimes sit up on a panel and share any information. There's no new information out there, guys. It's all the same. We're happy to share it. We know it's not about the information. It's about the environment you put yourself in and if you're going to do the work, right? So if you're out there and you're trying to be successful, maybe find a team, find a brokerage, find a support system, find a way that you will actually take action and do these things. Last thing I want to leave you with, again, is take action. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. Imperfect action trumps no action every single day of the week. That's how you're going to learn. Just try, do it, get out there, start, and you will you'll learn as you go. I'm reading your chats. Thank you, Vern. The lunch and learns, we do not do those on Zoom. No, they're in Naples. I send emails. Janice, I think you're on my email list. Those we just do in person. We provide lunch. So you're welcome anytime. Yeah, Facebook lead gen. Absolutely. So I was talking about free Facebook lead gen. You can get into like groups. I know one guy actually, he's local. I know his coach has been coaching him to do this and he's done a really good job. But he's gotten in with like a certain neighborhood, actually a certain area, like in Naples, Golden Gate Estates. He's gotten really into that group. And he's just in there constantly, chatting, giving people advice, posting, right? He's always posting about that area. If you're going to do something on Facebook like that, try to find some kind of niche. Or if you enjoy a certain thing or get into certain groups, a neighborhood group. Another thing you can do is run Facebook ads. I mean, that's a pretty easy one. Facebook ads are pretty inexpensive. You can run real estate ads on your listings and that kind of thing. Alec, you're with EXP. KV Core has some really neat abilities to do that, as well as one of my favorite tools with KV Core that I used when I first joined EXP is their lead capture page. You can put a listing in there and then post it on your Facebook, and it will capture information of people that look at it. And those leads will go right into your KV Core system. It's really cool. So you can start doing that, posting your listings. I mean, my strategy, how I used to get a lot of business back in the day on Facebook, I didn't really have a strategy. I just posted a lot about what I was doing. I closed. And naturally, when people know you're in real estate, they start to ask you questions, right? And you don't need to always be posting, I closed this, I closed that. Just post things often enough and they'll know you're in real estate. They post things about your favorite restaurants in the area, post things about the local dog park. It doesn't really matter. It's just, you want to be present so that people can, yeah, the squeeze page, exactly. Yep, that thing's awesome. I used to use that all the time. But you just want to be present enough in the neighborhood, right? So that people start to see you. They keep seeing you as the local realtor, or they remember that you're a real estate agent. Because even your friends and family, if you're not, they might know that you kind of do real estate, but if you're not in their face, so does 15 other people they know, right? So that's really Facebook. And Alec, we can talk a little bit more about that, and I can answer some of your other questions offline too, because happy to share with you anything I can to help. Cool. All right. I'm going to close this up. Thank you guys so much for coming. Really appreciate you. Have a great day. I hope you got the resources. And yeah, appreciate you coming. Bye.